So maybe you've come across her, maybe you have felt the call of the wild woman before, but you're not sure. Have you made contact with the energy of the dark feminine? The dark feminine is a powerful enigmatic force that's rising across our planet today. The dark feminine energy is often misunderstood and is confused with the feminine shadow, toxic femininity, and disempowered feminine traits. So in this video, I will explain what dark energy really is and why you should embrace it. My name is Gerda Low. I'm a muse, master manifester, and a mystic. And today we're going to talk about the dark feminine energy, and we're going to start with what it is. The dark feminine isn't separate, but it's intrinsically part of the divine feminine. She's a frequency, a sacred essence that encompasses creation and destruction since ancient times. She is a stream of spiritual energy, a spirit that weaves her way through our world. She is right here inside every one of us. Even if she's hard to define, she's always present. And although she's mystical in her nature, she is ready to be called on upon in real concrete ways by those who feel her pull. So how to awaken her? Awakening your own dark feminine energy and learning all the ways it wants to move through you is a practice. It's not something you do once and then forget about it. For she is very hard to describe because of her intangible, ethereal, and liminal nature. She is wild. She refuses to be defined or to be just one thing. So let's begin by first talking about the difference between the dark feminine energy and the light feminine energy. Many people think that dark feminine energy opposes the light feminine energy. But in truth, the light and dark sides of the feminine make up the entirety of the sacred feminine principle, and there's no separation. But to make it simpler to understand, let's quickly look at what are some typical qualities associated with the light side of the feminine versus qualities and traits that's associated with the dark side. So the light feminine energy and qualities are softness, nurturing, inward focus on family, healing, intuition, understanding, community, collaboration, attraction and receptivity, patience. The dark feminine traits and qualities are sensuality and pleasure, devotion, magic, mysticism and esoteria, passion, rage, the ability to transform, sexual liberation, the ability to regenerate, and authenticity. You may already express some dark feminine traits without knowing it, and it's equally likely that you're suppressing some levels of dark feminine power, as almost every woman has been conditioned to do this. So why do we need dark feminine energy? Dark feminine energy is an intrinsic part of life, but it's such a potent, transformative, regenerative, and mysterious frequency that not many people are familiar with it. Over many generations, the traits and qualities of the dark feminine has been shunned, silenced, and suppressed by the Western culture. It's been going on for many centuries. What better way to control people than to convince them that part of their very nature is not only worthless but harmful, dangerous, and even inherently evil. So it means that many men and women are not only not familiar with dark feminine energy, but it also frightens them. Yet, if we can't access dark feminine energy, we're missing out on experiences, sensations, and realities that are our birthright on this beautiful planet. So, if we don't embrace and truly celebrate all aspects, the light and dark aspects of the feminine, the growth of humanity will stagnate. Sounds very dramatic, but that is what it is. Over the centuries, the cultural narrative has been that there's something wrong with the dark, that darkness needs to be avoided. Instead of the life-giving and regenerative power of the dark feminine energy, instead of focusing on that, men believe she's evil, women are told to reject her. We have been led to believe that the dark feminine represents all those things that we as humans have collectively tried to push away, hide, or suppress, like unrestricted sexual energy and expression and fantasies, lust, desire, passion, pain, chaos, violence, wildness, untamed freedom, discomfort, taboos, negative emotions, the unknowable, the occult, the unknown. All these have been pushed away and hidden. So, the real essence and spirit of the dark feminine has been radically distorted in the collective mind. It has been distorted into the shadow traits of the wounded feminine. It's really important not to fall into the same trap that a lot of women do, thinking that the dark feminine and the female shadow is one and the same. The following qualities and characteristics and behaviors are shadow traits that I'm going to name. They are not expressions of the dark femininity, like codependency, being manipulative, the lack of confidence, low self-worth, drama queen tendencies, difficulty maintaining female relationships, inability to create boundaries, the inability to speak your truth and stand up for yourself. These are all expressions of the female shadow. So we need to look beyond the lies and deprogram our own beliefs around the dark feminine energy. And we must welcome her back, untamed. So in the next video, I'm going to go deeper in the topic of the dark feminine. But for now, I will share with you 7 ways to awaken the dark feminine energy in you. And the 7th one is the most powerful. I will create a separate video for that. There are, of course, many other ways to invite the dark feminine into the energy back into your world, but we just start with these. The first way might be a surprise for some of you, and that is rest. Rest is a sacred act, and making time for a rest as a conscious act is a must if dark feminine energy is going to rise through you. If you're all go, go, go all the time, then this sacred pause in the cycle of the feminine will not come, or you will be forced to take the pause by burnout, being overwhelmed, or by illness. The second way to welcome the dark feminine into our world, to awaken her, is to do your shadow work. Shadow work is dark feminine work. Most women and men are suppressing vital aspects of their true selves without realizing it. And whatever we suppress within ourselves ends up in the shadow side of our unconscious. What you might find in the shadow may be distorted, an expression of a wounded part of you. When you illuminate the dark side of the psyche with awareness, that's where dark feminine energy comes into play. So shadow work requires deep healing, full acceptance and self-love, and radical transformation. Dark femininity is the animatic force that transmutes shadow into gold. That's alchemy. To regenerate pieces of a fragmented soul into something extraordinary is pure dark feminine magic. The third way to invite this dark energy is to connect with the earth, walking barefoot, getting your hands into the soil. The earth is transforming matter all the time through the cycles of life and death and rebirth. Connecting with the earth is connecting with the dark feminine. This unknowable liminal place full of potential, the space between death and rebirth, where miracles happen. That is the space of the dark energy that lives in the earth's soil and under earth. The fourth thing that we should do if we want to invite the dark female energy into our life or awaken her is to let go and be in the mystery of the unknown. Let go of always having to know what next. There's a presence that knows exactly how to navigate this unknown space, whatever we are scared of, the place of the unknown. This place where this presence that can guide us is the dark feminine energy. So this goes hand in hand with befriending your rage. What I mean with that is, in our society, an angry woman is not allowed. You should be ashamed of yourself. That's not feminine. But I'm not talking about outbursts of emotion, repressed emotion. I'm talking about the sacred rage. That's one of the fuels of the dark feminine. It can be in response to whenever another being is violated. Learn to cultivate a healthy relationship with your rage and recognize the emotional intelligence it really holds. And it's a potent way into this paradigm. The sixth way to invite the dark feminine is to explore esoteria. I don't think I have to explain it. And we're not talking about mainstream. Most of the time, it scares the mainstream, which are still left brain operating. But through centuries, there has been practices that has been seen as dangerous because of deep-seated fears people had. These things were banned and suppressed along with the divine feminine. But we must each do our work to release our deep fear around these esoteric practices and the magical side of life. The last way in which we can invite the dark feminine is by meeting the dark goddess. Many women experience the light and dark aspects of the feminine by forming relationships with one or more of the goddesses. I will make a separate video about when you meet the dark goddess, and I'm sure you will find it very interesting and informative. I hope this video helped you to realize when you made contact with the dark feminine energy and to understand her a bit better. So if you liked this video in any way, or if you found it informative, please like and subscribe if you don't want to miss the next video. Until then, hope you have a wonderful time and sending you infinite love. Goodbye.
Don't ask why I'm ready, but I'm ready to take them down now. The time for a new start is constantly drawing in.